What was your reaction when you heard what happened?
It was very upsetting. I mean, I was on the way to Manchester at around about 11 o'clock that evening, and there was so much traffic, and I couldn't get my head around why there was so much traffic. I mean, there's been concerts there before, there's been boxing events at the arena before. As soon as I got to the cafe, I was meeting friends. That's when I got the report on my Twitter saying that there's been an explosion. I mean, this never happens in Manchester. I mean, one thing about Manchester, everyone gets on with each other. You never hear about things like this happening. So I was in more shock than anyone, really.
And yet, this guy had grown up in Manchester. There are clearly people, or there was a person like that in Manchester. Do you find, as a Muslim man, people then turn to you and say, what is being done? Because that's the question being asked this morning on the programme.
I mean, a lot of
what
people,
are other Muslim role models, for instance, because that's what you are? What is being done? And what more needs to be done?
Well, to be honest with you, one thing about Manchester is that everyone will normally gets on with each other. And if you look at since the bomb happened and the incident happened, a lot of the local restaurant owners, the taxi drivers are helping each other, dropping food off at people's at the hospitals, supporting them in any way they can. But I just think that, you know, we all need to stick together. We go in such a very tough time now, where the people in Manchester all have to stick together. I mean, it's wrong. Whoever did this, it's wrong. I mean,
are you worried about division?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it scares you, because obviously I'm Muslim myself, and I go out and I never want to be looked at, or people, if I'm on the bus or the train with somebody, I don't want them pointing at me saying, oh, we don't want to be on the same train as you.
Has that ever happened to you?
It's never happened, but I know it's happened to a couple of my friends. And it just upsets me because, you know, end of the day, I want people looking at me like having role models like myself.
And do you worry that that is a backlash that can potentially happen as people say the Muslim community needs to do more?
Yeah.
Do you worry that people then say, actually, it tars everybody of the same faith?
It definitely worries me, because end of the day, I've got my little girl, and I never want them. You could just see as time's going on, it's only getting worse and worse. And it worries me one day when she goes to school, people are going to be pointing a finger at her and thinking, oh, you're a Muslim. And it just gives all Muslims a bad name. But to be honest with you...
I mean, let me throw another part of this to you. You know, you can be completely supportive of Muslims and Islam, but here's the analogy I give you. I'm a Catholic, right? A lot of Catholics feel a great sense of guilt and shame that they didn't do more to root out paedophile priests in their midst, right, for decades, abusing little children, right? And I've talked about this with other Catholics, and many of them wish they had had the courage and the boldness to stand up and say, not in my name, and I think this is dodgy and this should be reported and so on. To me, it's the same thing. It's not an anti-Muslim thing. There are millions of Muslims living in this country, perfectly law-abiding, decent people, and we absolutely saw the best of them the other night in helping and everything else. But there is a problem with young, radicalised Muslims, a small percentage in this country, that is leading to the brainwashing of people who then think it's OK to go and target thousands of young girls and kill and maim them. And I don't think it should be offensive to the Muslim communities in Britain to say, come on, we need to do more, you need to do more, 100%. What can we do?
I think Muslims all have to stick together now. We all have to stick together with different races. I mean, in all different religions, there's always good and bad. And, you know, me being a Muslim, I mean, this is something that's against our religion, killing innocent people. In the Quran, it doesn't say that, you know, you should kill innocent people. I mean, this is something we're all against. So I think for sure what you said before is we all should stick together and stop things like this happening, really.
Do you think more could be done to report suspicions about people? Yeah,
definitely. You know, I think obviously I go to the mosques and I walk the streets in Manchester. I mean, I'm sure people know about it, and if people hear about anything happening, I think they should go to the local police station and report it, really.
Are people fearful? Amir, are there Muslims who would like to do more in terms of reporting suspicions, but they're worried that if they do, they themselves might become targets?
Well, I don't know about that, but I just think that if people are watching this, if there is a lot of Muslims out there who know information, I think they should definitely go out there, because this is giving all those Muslim people a bad name.
Right.
I mean, I'm a Muslim. I mean, I know I'm a little bit scared walking the streets myself with my little girl, because anything can happen. And obviously, I know people are pointing a finger at Muslims, but I mean, are we really sure that it is Muslim? Because this is something that is totally against our religion. If these people are saying that they're doing it you know, because of Islam. I really believe that's not true because
It's a
Well,
warped,
they're
interpretation.
twisting Islam, aren't they?
they're twisting Islam and they're just doing this by, and it's just making it worse for everybody, really.